Hi everyone, I am Tara, aka Spirit Mother, and I would like to welcome you all back to my channel on YouTube, Spirit TV Going Itself, on TikTok, 1974 Enlightened Soul, and I'm also live on my Facebook. If you're new to my channel, I always recommend and suggest that you go in and read the description on my YouTube channel, Spirit to Spirit, Teachings of Going Within Self, to get a better understanding of what it is that I bring forward on my channel. Tonight, talking about the intense symptoms of a spiritual awakening, right? Because you hear all the ascension symptoms and symptoms and what have you, okay? And a lot of people, they don't come on here and share a lot of the parts of the intense symptoms of it when you're going through your spiritual awakening. And sometimes they can be extremely intense to the point where you feel like you're absolutely going bonkers and you're questioning, like, oh my gosh, like, what's going on here? And the first thing I'm going to address is, okay, the first time I had the intense awakening was back in 99 after I used the Ouija board. It went full blown. And they put me in the psychiatric unit, and I was experiencing, like, oh my gosh, it was like parts of it was extremely demonic and really, like, messed up. Okay. And someone said, oh, well, that's demons. That's your awakening. Okay? You are experiencing this stuff. It's just, they'll give you a pill to suppress it or put you back to sleep. Okay. But it actually makes it worse for when finally the awakening does happen. It's just like freaking full blown, and you're put in a psychiatric unit, or you just like totally go ape shit, batshit crazy. And then a lot of people, well, they feel that the only way to escape it is by taking their own life. I'm one of them. I felt that that was the only way that I was going to escape what I was experiencing. And then in 2020, well, I died in 2019, then in 2020 is when I started experiencing more. Okay. I even tried taking my own life in 2020. That was the last time that I tried taking my life, because I was going through a lot of awakening symptoms and I didn't know what I was experiencing. I didn't know what was going on. But at that time, I didn't go into psychiatry. That's when spirit, my mother, and there's a man that I don't even know. I take it he's the grumpy old man that, one of the paranormal investigators told me, he was a medium who told me that a grumpy old man attached himself to me when I was like just born, or between the time I was born and 2 years of age. So I figure there's somebody there that's the man that's always with my mom. And at times I've been feeling like, I had a twin brother. And then in 2020, I tried taking my life again. Like, I was truly trying to leave because I felt like I was a burden on my family, because my family didn't understand. They just thought, it's a psychiatric thing, because you're told that's what it is. But it's actually a spiritual awakening. You're not understanding it. And the medical community, you can poo-poo me all you want. I'm going by experience. I'm not going by your book. I'm not telling people that it's what's happening to them, but it's a damn good majority of what's happening to you. It becomes the mental part when you don't understand what it is that you're experiencing. After I started going through these experiences, I started speaking the different languages. I'll tell people off in the languages. I'll speak nice in the languages. It's spirit. But others don't believe that, because when you come out of that, like, okay, it was 2020. I got hit between the lookers with big couple flashes of light. And then in 2021, it was after Christmas, because we had Christmas 2020. And then in 2021, I really went through another part of the awakening. Like, I'm telling you, it was really, like, it was really true. I was like it was like I was a little kid, and I was hollering out the window and dancing around. Gaba, gaba, can you look at everything? Gaba, gaba. And I was looking right at the sun. I was having flashbacks, like, it was like I was reliving a lot of things. And as things progressed, it was like I had animalistic. So I was going through the stage of feeling like I was an animal, because we have that. And I know there's other people that experience it, because when I was experiencing it, I felt like now, sometimes I felt like I just wanted to rip people's heads off. There were parts of it where, I was fighting myself from going after raw meat, going in my freezer and getting out raw meat and eating raw meat. And I know that there's people that are going through this now, or have gone through it. That's the intense parts of going through a spiritual awakening. People are saying love and light, love and light, love and light. Well, I guess if you're thinking all love and light, by Jesus, you're not fucking going through no goddamn fucking spiritual awakening. And I'm not going to say, excuse my French, because you're using the Lord's name in vain. No, I'm just pointing out that the spiritual awakening, it's not about all love and light, because you're going to go through the darkness. You're going to go through a lot of emotions. And the more you hold those emotions in, it's like connecting with your body and understanding and asking yourself at that moment when you feel like you're gonna rip someone's head off, and then all of a sudden, after you feel like that, you feel like you just want to go after raw meat. It's that part of, there's an anger there. Okay, people say about the Canaanites. Okay, that's taboo. Don't talk about the Canaanites. There's like Canaanites, they were such cannibals. But see, the thing is, what we don't realize, okay, if you look at St. Christopher in different biblical texts or different stuff, some have described St. Christopher as having the head of a dog, the head of a wolf, the head of a jackal. Okay? So see, when I look at it, okay, like it's like, okay, if you watch Vampire Diaries or sometimes the originals, okay, I use this stuff as kind of a way to relate to, okay, because will say, well, that's just that. If that's just this and that's just that, why the fuck are you experiencing what you're experiencing? If it's not telling you something, okay? Movies are telling many things. Okay, think of it this way. Okay, Klaus. Okay, a lot of women, women who watch Vampire Diaries. It's like, what was it, Damien and Stefan and Klaus. They were the hot guys. Okay, Damien and Stefan, they were vampires. Stefan was a ripper at one point, and Damien was a ripper at one point. Okay, and so was Klaus. But see, the thing is, okay, Klaus was one of the Klaus was in which because his mother and his father Michael, they became vampires in the series. Okay, Klaus's mother, she had Klaus with a wolf, werewolf. Okay, so Klaus became a hybrid. Okay, so it's that part of okay, you have heaven, okay, which would we okay, you have like an earth angel, you have the underworld, and you have the earth. Okay, you have heaven, earth, and underworld. Okay, see, Cain would have been the earth, the wolf, werewolf, however you want to refer. Take this as it resonates or not. I'm explaining symptoms that you can have. Okay, because like my whole I've always it's strange, okay, because you have those things within you. Okay, you have an attraction. Some are attracted. Well, they notice boobs. Some notice eyes. Some notice butts. It's the attraction that you have. I see an attraction to a neck. And it's a part I've said before, like, you got a sexy neck if I want if person who has an attraction to a neck, you get a sexy neck if they want to like be intimate and use the neck. They're attracted to the neck. Okay. I just heard you drink blood. I don't even like the sight of blood, man. Yeah, yeah. See? It's see, there are times when I see this and it's like I can relate to it. Klaus was a hybrid. He was a vampire and he was a werewolf. And the part of breaking the sire. When I say breaking the sire, people say the father. Okay, the sire is the father. Well, you're breaking the father of the pain. Okay, the father of the pain is what keeps you linked and latched into that. So you're actually moving the energy. Okay, it's like if you watch and Tyler. Okay, I think his name was Tyler on the series Vampire Diaries. Okay, he became a werewolf. Okay, so he had to learn how to break that sire by breaking the chains within you. Okay, it's like you're shifting the energy so that you take back. You're the one in control of what you are experiencing. You sit with your thoughts and you figure out, okay, when I just had that experience, that emotion, that feeling, that overwhelming of just like, wanting to rip the head off someone. I watched Twilight. Breaking Dawn, I believe it was the last one that I seen was Breaking Dawn. Okay, and they have the council, okay, which is the government, the council, okay. They were the government of the vampire. I've had friggin' dreams of vampires or not, or like I don't watch stuff like that, but I was literally, it was like I was in the hive of it. And I seen people I knew, but I also seen children. And it's a strange experience because you also experience things within the mind. Okay, sometimes it feels like somebody is trying to hijack you, talking to somebody, and then all of a sudden your head feels funny, and it's like you're being persuaded. That's what you are here to break. You're here to break that part of where it's like hijacking your mind and manipulating it, and like someone tell me like they 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 catch on to things just like that. You don't know how. And like when I went through it, I didn't like I couldn't understand. I had different like ability, like strength, but that's because you're coming into your divine being. You're coming in to you're coming in to your natural state. Okay, because we all have human strength, like beyond human strength of what we know. So that is the part you're coming out of your awakening. So you have that extra strength. It's your gifts that God's giving you, and you're being given it for a reason. Some people have telekinesis, and others will say, well, that's not real. Well, you're fucking right, it's real. Have you ever looked into the stuff that the CIA is doing? Remote viewers? Oh, well, that's not real. You're fucking right, it's real. There's parts of your system, there's the parts of your system that really don't want you understanding that. Go watch Frozen. It's about the military and the indigenous, the British and the indigenous. The British scalped the indigenous. And the indigenous in Frozen 2, they were connected to all of the elements. And the elements of spirit were allowing them, it wasn't that they were magical themselves, it was spirit. And they knew how to connect with the spirit and they become friends with the spirits. They were on the same frequency. And then blood got shed. Some people think I'm crazy and little Lulu. I'd rather be told that I'm crazy and Lulu than be sound asleep to a dogma that keeps you thinking that you have mental health issues. You have a spiritual awakening taking place. And when you don't understand that, that's when you end up going to mental health. But it's hard because they don't understand it. They're told that no, this is a mental health issue. So, see, the medical community, they need to be taught with regards to the biblical text when it comes to working with people who they believe to have psychiatric illnesses. They need to learn how to understand that it's not necessary. It's that person. You're speaking to that person in thought, but you're actually experiencing different forms of spirit. That's why in some cases, that's why when you're in therapy, people are just all over the place. You're there to help them sort through it all. But until you understand it yourself, then those people are going to keep coming back. I was told from my therapist that I only have 5 more sessions because they only give you 10 sessions because there's not enough people to fill the spots. I wonder there's not enough people to fill the spots. There's not enough people to fill the spots with regards to paid, like people with what they perceive to be mental health, because they don't understand the spiritual aspect of it. Because the some of it, it's like they're fighting against one another and not realizing that in case it all goes hand in hand. You have to have it because there's still people that's still in that matrix and they believe that that stuff is going to work, but until they're going to keep taking it no matter what you say until they understand. But that understanding comes from the medical community. But some of the medical community are so connected with big pharma and, it's money. To some, the money overpowers true healing for people. Actually, if you're a therapist, sit and actually listen to your patient. You get to ask the right questions. And the way to asking the right questions is by getting in tune with your own self and putting aside the dogma as if those people are just clients, nothing. They're just money or dollars or clients. The books are right. The books are a lot of overthinking and a lot of label it. Oh, there's another label. Another label. Oh shit! Where's my label? Where's my labeler? So I can put like a bunch of labels on my head as to what they would label you. See, when I had a question from somebody and they were telling me something they were experiencing, I started crying because it was like, oh my geez. You're explaining, you're telling me exactly what I went through in 2021. You're going through the same thing. You're experiencing those different versions of yourself. You're experiencing, you've been an animal, so you're experiencing the animal aspect of yourself. Like when I was experiencing the animal, holy shit, man, I was growling, I was literally snarling, and like that. My ex-husband, he'd say that he doesn't, but he's done it. And I've seen other people do it. Whether they're aware of it or not. I am extremely aware of what I'm seeing. I'm extremely aware of what I'm experiencing. Someone commented on one of my videos when I was like speaking in the different forms of language, and they were like, "You don't speak English?" Yeah, I speak English, but I never learned these languages anymore. See, and through parts like when I was staying in my camper trailer. This was a few months after goes like, yeah. Because I called them. I called like the crisis center, like, holy shit, man, something's fucking going on here. That's when I started tapping into my gifts, my abilities. See, the thing is, when they put a label on it, to me, it's they're putting it on because they have to have something. They've got to be able to explain it somehow. And I'm explaining to you what it actually is. See, the thing is with people that are going through their spiritual awakening, the way to break the matrix aspect of things, to get your truth out there, what you've experienced, is to conquer that fear and say, I'm going to tell my experience of what I've been experiencing throughout my spiritual awakening, even if it makes you look crazy, because you're not alone. Sometimes it gets, the energy within me gets so intense. It's like I just want to go out like that because you've outgrown your own life. You Spirit is trying to get you to grow. You have to spread. It's like expanding your wings, spreading your wings so you can soar and fly higher. Like I know where I'm at right now, I'm limiting myself. But see, the more people wake up, the more you see the chaos in the world because it's to create chaos to try and put people in their places. But you were never to be in one specific place. Mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. I can feel different people coming in. Like right now, I feel like really like I feel like I'm going to start to sweat. It's warm in here, but I got my fire going. It's the throat chakra. A lot of people have their throat chakra closed off. Whenever you want to say something, you feel no, get down there, get down there, get down there, get down there. No, you can't come up. Somebody else say something. Guisi patay. It's better. The person that met me and told me, like, I, I can totally understand why you'd want to get that person set up. It's because there's animosity there. There's something that you experienced from that person in whatever way. And you know that there's something not right about a situation that that you experienced, whether it be in childhood, teenager, or adult, even in your old age. It's in there and it's festering and it's festering. And it's up to you to be the one in control of how you react to it. Talk with somebody about it, explain it to that person, somebody that you know will understand what it is that you're talking about. Because with this person, believe me, I feel the same way. Because I know there's something not right. I know that there's a reason. Well, wait a minute. See, the thing is, the truth will come out because spirit karma will bring it out. And when that does happen, there's going to be people in denial. Certain things I could show to people right now with regards to what I'm talking about. Because there's been a whole lot of lies. People are thinking one thing, but no, it's that part they've been lied to. You'll go through anger, you'll go through resentment, you'll go through guilt, you'll go through shame, you'll go through hate. My videos that I put out there, I put my whole life because I'm not ashamed of it. And if people feel like they've done nothing wrong, then why are you worried about somebody going on and saying about what they experienced? Some people are bringing things out not to make you look bad or feel bad, but to bring it out in the open because it was things that never got addressed. And it festered and festered and festered, and then it blows up. Sometimes families, they separate because of it. Some don't talk to each other or what have you, and that's part of, instead of not talking to one another, why not sit and talk about it? See, I have somebody that's more pissed off at me because they thought that I was kissing their boyfriend when they actually came out of the bathroom stall and I was actually pushing their boyfriend away. But they still, to this day, think that I was kissing their boyfriend. And that was after I threw their boyfriend out of the house because they were hitting them with a coat hanger. So things from your past comes up. Like I've had like dreams. Man, I went through some hell in my dreams. I've seen some really, man, yeah. I was sitting with my sister the other day, helping her with something, and then all of a sudden, I heard my mom say, I heard my mom, and she said, and what ended up happening is I turned and I looked at my sister, and it was like, when did you pull mom's hair? And she kind of laughed. What do you mean? Like, just what I said. When did you pull mom's hair? And then she tried telling me that at first she was trying to say that I didn't pull mom's hair. And I said that she said, like, it was like, don't ever do that again. And then she finally told me that one night she came home from the bar or something like that, or it was something to do with the bar. She pulled mom's hair. I didn't know she did it. That was my mom speaking to her. But would she believe me on that? No, because it's me. I don't know how many times that day she told me, like the other day, she told me it was crazy. And the way she reacted, the way she talked to me and reacted to me, and she's told me that the pastor that she goes where she goes to church, the two pastors there, one of them for sure speaks in tongues because I've actually had a conversation with him in tongues the first time I met him. But I know my sister would not speak to him the way she did me. And if my family decides that, we'll just ignore Tara when she speaks like that, don't fucking ignore me. You mightn't like it, but it's that part of, why are you wanting me to not be me? Does it affect those demons within you? Because that's what it is. It's the language of God. It's God's language. I had a Jehovah's Witness tell me God don't speak God don't speak that language anymore. God uses the Bible. That language was said that it was spoken, or the Bible said that the languages were spoken. It's like, seriously? You're just like this. That preacher was just like what they fucking did to our ancestors to take our languages away. So God don't use that language anymore because God didn't use that language anymore. People wouldn't be speaking that language. So do this to get up with I should have just to put it. You know, there's an awful lot of Michaels that I end up coming in contact with, and they're real peckerheads. I've channeled so much that, like, I have a channel with regards to Michael and Lucifer. Oh, don't say Lucifer! It's a part of the truth. And when right now, when I said all that, it was like I was hearing someone just start breathing like that. And I could feel around me. Like, do I love Archangel Michael? Yeah, he could be a real peckerhead too and think his shit don't stink. And then there's, Lucifer. They say Lucifer thought he was like that. Lucifer had this big ego. Was it that Lucifer had a big ego, or was it because Lucifer didn't agree with him? And I keep hearing it's like a breathing. And right, Rolly? What do you say more, guy? So you're gonna experience intense things. And sometimes you're gonna feel like you're fucking paranoid. And they'll tell you, "Oh, this is paranoia." No, it's the shadows, and it's like, are you going to like keep trying to push her away? Because you're not going to push her away. It's going to piss off. You're going to piss those parts off because there's something you need to address. But I was literally fighting myself when I was going to eat more meat. So now, the only form of meat that I have is fish and eggs. I've gone through where it's like you're looking at somebody and it's those people, but it's not those people. People say, "Oh, that's a psychosis. That's a schizophrenia." No, that's just seeing things on a different plane of existence, on a different timeline, on a multiverse. What are you talking about a multiverse? Go look it up. It's not just in your Marvel movies or in your movies. You're actually experiencing it. I'm sitting here listening to the radio, and all of a sudden, a sadistic song comes on. Like, really, the kids listen to that stuff. Yeah, we met our kids. Well, with shit like that, if you're letting your kids watch stuff like that, or you're letting your kids listen to stuff like that, then ask yourself, why are your kids so violent? Seriously. And I know right now that, one of the Matrix, TikTok and all these media things, they gotta have control of everything, right? My ex-husband, he's like, the reason why you don't get any views on the videos is because nobody wants to hear it. No, you just don't want to hear it. You don't want the truth to come out about you. And it's time that people like him look at his truth like they expect everybody else. You can't go and blame somebody else for the way you are because you choose to remain that way. You have the choice to make things different for yourself, to understand what it is that you're experiencing instead of listening to all the dogma and going around saying, "Oh, I got this disorder, I got that disorder." Why? You got that disorder because the doctor said you got that disorder, hey? Maybe you don't even got that disorder and they just need to label it. That part, I can feel ones that want to shut me down, and I can feel the ones that their throat chakra, it's like you want to pull my, it's like tonight I was watching Once Upon a Time and the Dark One. He took someone's tongue out of the, he removed someone's tongue because didn't want them speaking, didn't want them hollering while he was beating the shit out of them. Wanted to, it's the form of wanting to silence you. And I can feel that tug on my tongue. Y si puede traerme, ni le tuturisha la que se le tuturem. See, the reason why I'd rather talk to people in person, like in a big room, and then people can ask questions. I don't like doing things so much over stuff like this because to me it's very impersonal because I get it's like I connect to people directly, so I connect to the room. So when I'm speaking, it's a spirit. It's not directed towards one specific person, as it's directed towards the collective as a whole. Your body gets agitated. Some people even get violent convulsions from it. I get, like, when I bring truth forward, or I'm working with people and I help them to bring their truth forward or give them that epiphany of what it is that they're experiencing. What ends up happening is my body goes through. It's like I take it on. It's like taking on the violence for somebody else, but giving them an epiphany because I can transmute it. I understand what it is that I'm experiencing. I know that it's not mine. It's different parts of their spirit. I'm experiencing their feelings. I'm experiencing their shift and helping them shift with it. But I'm here to teach, like I'm here to teach people what they're experiencing. And it's not about being ashamed of it. And I know that, there are many people who go through this stuff and they see somebody else that goes through it, whether it's somebody in the family or close or what have you. And they see the other people in the family or close by that are going through it. And then they're going through the same thing, but they don't want to say nothing because they've seen how they treated this other person. It's like I've been doing this, speaking the languages and going through this for almost 5 years now. It's been 5 years. And my ex-husband is around me all the time, speaking in the languages, but he still don't believe it. Or he believes it, and the people that he gets his money from, they don't allow that. You have to knock them back down. It's like here, everybody should have a pedestal. Because you're all blessed, you're all gifted, you're all worthy. But you've lived in a system that tells you that no, you have to live this way, you have to live that way. When you're going through this, yes, you should quit drugs, you should quit drinking, because it makes it a lot more difficult. Because if you don't have control of it, and then you get out of control, you're the one responsible for your behavior. Because you know that you're experiencing something, and alcohol and drugs just escalate it and enhance it more, and not in a good way. Far from it being in a good way. I had to stop using. I quit drinking. I haven't drank in over 3 years now, and I haven't smoked THC in 3 years. For some, depending on where they are, depending on what they came here to do, what what contract or what agreement they made with their ancestors, because you were sent here. You're here for a higher purpose, whether it's to create chaos, to help others wake up, or whether you're here to be healers. I've seen a thing on TikTok where they said that we don't need it. It's how did they put it? We didn't need more. I forget how they put it. They said that we needed more healers. We need the gardeners, the teachers. We need to come back to the connection to the earth. And like I know people that I can tell they're connected to the earth. They can catch on to earthly things. Okay? They catch on to the material world, to the physical world. They connect to like being able to like build things and what have you. Me? I paint pictures sometimes, but I'm more about the people. I'm more about the artifacts, the history, and going in and just kind of feeling the energy that's been left on these artifacts, feeling the energy from people connecting directly to the elements earth, wind, water, fire, and the light, which is the people. Kasi sikire mo tayo. Ano nung namurot ka lang na yan, meron tukul pa sila. See, we're all like people are bashing each other for their religion, they're bashing each other for their culture, they're bashing each other for their color, and it's just all ignorance. And if people take offense to that, well, then I guess you're going to take offense to it. But don't tell me that you want peace if you're still bickering and fighting over the past. Because there are people fighting over the past and they don't even know what they're fucking fighting about. They're just fighting because, this is what we're told. Well, were you told the truth? Seriously, I'm telling you, everybody really needs to look in their own genealogy. Because it doesn't matter what culture, it doesn't matter what color, and it doesn't matter what religion. I told my ex-husband that today. Because, he threw shade on me and shade because of the energy. Oh, yes. Like, no, I won't. Obviously, it fucking irritates you. And I put a video on and I told him, like, that's what your grandfather was doing. And that's why his grandfather couldn't stay with his family. Because their energies weren't aligned. If you're around cheery people, some people get really agitated around cheery people and say, oh, well, they're fake. No. Maybe they're not fake. Maybe you just don't like being around cheery people because you're a bitter old bastard. It's like people say about, oh, this person you talk about, they never shut up. Like, hey, try to hear yourself. The same people that say other people talking a lot and never shut up, they're the same way. This is stuff that you become, it's the intense part because yes, you do have, like you end up like having disagreements with people. You can still have love and not cater to people because they don't want to listen to you when you're trying to help them and trying to overcome something, or when you're trying to help them solve an issue. They can't do it. Well, it's that part. If you don't want to fucking do it, then why ask for help? If you're not going to do it, and you're not going to take what they say to heart, and listen to what they say about how you can solve a problem, or how you can work through it, then what the fuck are you asking somebody that question for? I said it earlier, my ex-husband said, when people ask you how you do it, they don't really want to know. It's a part of, hey, peckerheaded wiener shit balls. Then why ask me what's wrong if you really don't want to know what's wrong? Just don't bother, and then you wouldn't have to worry about somebody telling you what's wrong. Or you ask them what's wrong, so you can be fucking nosy and go spread shit, and then also say, "Oh wow." Or, "Oh, well, you always got something. You always got a problem." It's like, yeah, and sometimes you're my fucking problem. These are things you go through because you get to that point where you're not taking the shit no more. And then because you stand up for yourself, they'll blame you for what happened. It's like, what? I'm not feminine enough for some, or that's critical language to become a gentle lady, you know? How's it any better coming from a man who says he's a gentleman? There's things that I know, and I don't know how I know it. There's things that come out of my mouth, and it leaves me speechless because I didn't even know it, but spirit is telling you. You're you're able to do things because you've already done it. You're just you're quickly remembering how to do it. It's like that epiphany. Oh yeah, that's how you do it. And we are left. It's like right now, I can feel that right in here. It's like "Purisi que la moto kaya siya, suku e mataya." It's like a feel of the heart. I said I feel energy. I had one of my sisters telling me, "You go in there and like you say this and you say that and you tell people off on your videos." Yep. Do I go into other people's uh, stuff? I put messages to get people to think about certain things of what they're saying, whether I come off as an asshole or a bitch or like I don't know what I'm talking. It's because I'm here to get you to think for yourself. So if I put in a contradictory, I guess spirit's doing it for a reason. Do I have foot and mouth disease? Fuck yeah, sometimes we all got it. But some of us will admit to it, whereas others won't. Because those are the ones that act like they're all holy now that, oh, I don't do nothing. Fuck you don't, because everybody does something. And it's because you're trying, at times, it's because what you put out to somebody. So if somebody talks to me like a piece of shit, you think I'm going to be fucking nice to you? Like the other day, I told my sister, and she was like, well, you're not God. You're not God. We're all aspects of God. They say we're made in the image of God. If we're made in the image of God, are we not like God? Do we not have the abilities of God? Seriously. You're saying, and you're like you're spouting out of a book that says we are made, and you're telling people we are made in the image of God. Then if you're saying that because somebody is doing something one way or something like that, you say they're not like that's not God, but you say that we're made in the image of God. So you say God is spirit, God is energy. God is able to do this, God is able to do that. Well, if you're that image of God, aren't you able to do it too? But hey, a dogma will say, oh, well, no, that's not what it means. You're fucking right. It's what it means. Made in the image of God. You're experiencing all versions of yourself like God would be experiencing all versions of God's self, which is the Christ consciousness, which is the whole of the collective of everything and everyone. That's why you're experiencing strange and abnormal things. People are experiencing what they poltergeists. It's you or whether it's somebody else in your vicinity creating that energy. And sometimes it's energies that's left behind. I did a video of my ex-husband's book. And the freaking thing was acting really strange. It was like, and making sounds. It was an energy. It's like that. You get that tag along. My ex-husband, like, someone will say, like, if you fart, like, get out and walk. You tell the hitchhiker to get out and walk. What was it? It was a series it was like a Diego or something like that. It was almost like it was named after a car or something, and they had it, and it was like the entities were leaving your mouth, coming in through the holes of the orifices and out through the mouth. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. That's said because it's the taboo. It's yours to see no evil. It's yours to hear no evil. It's yours. It's your truth and reconciliation. Io sanno dove è, solo che ti creare like right now there's a lot right here. It's like people are stepping out. I was going through TikTok because that's how I just watch people and different things of like seeing what's going on in the world and like people say, well, you're dogma, you're this way, or you're that way. No, you don't know what fucking way I am because you don't even fucking know me. Because if you did, you'd fucking understand. So we take and when I watch and I see these like the protests, they're no longer protesting and dividing themselves. They all had the same agenda. So everybody's becoming more focused and coming together. Okay, not talking about the Bible or anything like that, but I'm going to use is Jesus, Yeshua, whom I refer, however you refer to anybody. Okay, when it was Jesus would go around and he'd go to the town that the churches and what have you, and he'd make it. He'd just wipe all the stuff off the tables and let it open up the cages and let people come. Okay, and he said, "You are like me, only greater." When he says you are greater, it means as the collective coming together as one, you are who can make the change. Whether people say he come as God or what have you, some believe it was Messiah, some believe it was God. And you're both right. He came as a messenger of God. He became a messenger of what gifts he was given through God, and he became a God himself. But he also said the Father. So if he said the Father and that he was Son of God, he was not saying that he was God. He was saying he was Son of God. But there's so much within that, if people think that Jesus didn't go through hell and back to get to where he was, or Yeshua go through hell and back to get to where they were, because I believe that Yeshua and Jesus were two different people. And that's why you have the far left and the far right. It comes down to like people say that there's no racism. The thing is, there shouldn't be racism in this day and age. But when you see and you wake up and you go through all these experiences, you start seeing what's happening. And if people don't realize that what's happening is it's like we're going back in time. Are you going to stop it? Are you going to stop things from going back in time so you can move forward? Because it's everything. It's going to go forward, and it can go forward smoothly, or you're going to go through a whole shit called of fucking pain to get there. Because a lot of people are going through that pain. I watched another video where they were saying about they were having some kind of protest, and it was the Republicans, and they were saying that the Democrats were coming in and destroying everything. No, the Democrats weren't going in and destroying anything. You were doing it yourself so that you can try to pin everything on the Democrats. But neither one of you are any better than the other right now. I look at Donald Trump. He's all, well, him and his crew, they're always blaming and saying about Biden did this, and Biden did that, and then fucking Pierre Poilievre or whatever, however you pronounce his name, he's saying all about the Justin Trudeau, and now it's, oh, Mark Carney this. I never heard Mark Carney or Justin Trudeau shooting people down. Here's Bad Alice. Let's listen to Bad Alice, because we're all Bad Alices, and we're all going down fucking rabbit holes. Dance with me. So, you know, superpowers superpowers. It is true. We all have superpowers. Just we're so kept in fear, pain, and suffering, ignorance and greed, being hypocritical and judgmental of one another, that we're keeping ourselves from tapping into our superpowers. You think this way, when somebody gets an adrenaline rush and all of a sudden they can lift the front end of the fucking car. Where do you think that's coming from? It's superhuman strength, and you have the ability to tap into that. You have the ability to tap into moving objects. You have the ability to touch someone and heal that person. You have the ability to know how to put something together that you're told, well, that's not possible. The thing is, if people think of it, then it's possible or they never thought of it. They're tapping in to a gift that they already had. They're tapping in to something that they've already done. Only they don't remember. I explained to my therapist last time I was there to, okay, think of Men in Black. Okay, the movie Men in Black. What they do, they have the little flashy thing, right? Flash memories give you new memories. But where do you have certain memories, but then all of a sudden you have PTSD and you have dreams and what have you. Those are different. Those are memories coming back. You have false memories. You have true memories. And they're all intertwined together. And that's what keeps us fighting with life. It may not even be something from your perceived timeline. Clairvoyance. I had this same person that like told me something and then asked like a question. It's like you have clairvoyance, you have intuition. You're just like me. Only you have a different gift. You have the gift to be able to learn this physical world rather quickly because you're tapping into. See, it's like a time when using. I had somebody tell me before that when they were younger, their friends were at a sitting in a driveway somewhere, and they were at a church or something, and they stepped one foot, or these people were doing a seance in the churchyard, and this person stepped their foot in the churchyard, and all the candles just went out, but there was no breeze. It was just once they stepped their foot, all of them went out. It's a part of. I'm here to tell you, the spirit world knows who you are. And you are connected to high-ranking spirits. See, the thing is, it's not about having the ego and thinking that you're better than everybody else because you have these gifts. It's about teaching others your gifts. Teaching others what you know how to do, teaching others how to do it and not being cocky and arrogant about it. Because God, source, spirit, creator, universe, they wouldn't give you these gifts if they didn't know, believe that you could handle it and that you could teach others how to do it. you too are capable of speaking like this, but people in the dogma, they're what's holding you back because you're witnessing the way those people are treating somebody else. I sing this song at karaoke sometimes. Like growing up, I was I miss. I liked going to karaoke, and I love dancing. Like I can feel that in my chest right now. It's that part like what you give, what you put out to somebody else. You're going to experience it yourself. So if you're trying to inflict pain on me, or you're trying to silence me, you're going to be the one to experience that pain. You're going to be the one to be silenced. I've already told people many times. I turn my energy toxic for those who are trying to harm me and for those who are trying to steal and not have an even exchange of energy. And believe me, if you feel like shit after you try attacking me, that's your own attack. Because you're obviously poisoning mine, so I'm going to protect myself. It's toxic because it's love. It's toxic to those who want to create harm on me because I'm not trying to send harm back to you. I'm sending prayers and healing to you so that you'll heal and not want harm to somebody else because you're fucking there. Telling you, I'm feeling so many throat chakras right now. It's not funny, and you're blocking yourself from being truthful and honest. And if others want to shit on you, or others want to tell you you're crazy, well, just say I'm proud to be crazy. Because if I'm crazy, it means that I know what I'm experiencing, and I'm not living in a fucking dogma anymore. I'm not living in denial of my own being. And I'm not friggin' delusional. I'm actually waking up to truth and to the ancestral lines. Because this was all in your ancestral stuff. My ex-husband said about gypsies. And when I asked him, like, what is a gypsy? He basically said that they would go around and they like steal from everybody and everything like that. They don't have to be a fucking gypsy to do that. Because if that's the case, then I guess, there's one shit full of gypsies in this world. There's more gypsies than anything else. And hey, gypsies and they're stealing from everybody else. What the fuck are you voting them in your government for? Yeah, so it's that part, hey, who am I? I'm going to ask, what are you afraid of? Why are we allowing people to shoot us down because of something that they don't understand? They wouldn't want you to shoot them down, which makes them a hypocrite, does it not? I even know like this pastor at this church spoke tongues with me. I still didn't feel comfortable in the church. Because I don't got to go sit in front of somebody and tell stuff to me out of the scripture that they choose what to tell me. I got into it with my sister the other day with regards to the church collecting money. You don't have to give money. No, you don't have to give money. But some guilt you if you don't. And then they say that, my sister said, well, that goes towards paying for the electrical bills of the church and everything like that. No. What happens is the money goes to the head and then it gets dispersed and they pay the church, they pay the bills. They're given a allotted amount of money to pay the bills and to pay the pastor's fee or what have you. And my sister, she said, well, they do all these dinners and stuff. Well, the money they spend on doing these dinners and stuff, why don't they just give the money to the people so that they can have their own dinners? Seriously. We used to have church suppers back years ago when I was a kid. And you know how the church suppers would come about? People would volunteer to cook food. It was like a potluck. It wasn't the church who paid for it. It didn't come out of the church's pocket. People volunteered to make stuff, and that don't happen anymore. And the reason why a lot of people have stopped going to church is because they've stopped believing. They've stopped believing because they've turned to electronics. They've turned to a dogmatic system. They turned to materialistic things. And they forgot their own divinity. They forgot their own abilities, their own gifts, their own way of doing something. It's not about sitting in an office and punching buttons. Because that's kind of becomes a mind fuck. Like you sit on a screen and then you're just like, zombie-like. Like I can feel that again. It's like right in here. It's like open. And that's saying, be that magnifier. Bring that out. My sister should never have made fun of me. She should never have mocked me if she says she's a person of God. Seriously. You know fucking well I didn't learn these languages anymore anywhere. And you're fucking mocking me? Who do you fucking think or what do you think is giving me these languages? Seriously. It's that part of, the fucking truth. When the truth is sitting right in front of you, you still fucking deny it. Because it's not what you're looking for. It's not what you're expecting. It's not what your dogma has taught you. Kimakala ko tukuriya tayo. Istilah kisiray. So, if you're feeling like an animal, you're going through awakening. You're experiencing the different forms of yourself and your ancestors. You're experiencing a wolf or any type of animalistic thing, it's because you're experiencing that animal that you're experiencing that animal. You're connected with the spirit animal. When you're having animosity towards somebody, or you experience something and then you experience wanting to eat raw meat afterwards, that's because your spirit recognized something about that person. And I'll say it. That's when you really need to talk to somebody that would understand what it is that you're talking about. It's putting all the stuff aside of how things went down and just saying, fuck it. Don't be ashamed of it. And don't think that there's something wrong with you. It's like, what am I? You're extremely gifted. That's what you are. Your spirit. You're experiencing it all. And you've been chosen. And you're being called to the front line. So just know that, I'm one person that's not going to judge because of something you're experiencing, because, I will believe you. Even if it sounds crazy and great out there. I will believe you. Going into the unknown, experiencing the unknown, why people don't want to do that because they're afraid of what the medical community will say, or they're afraid of what people who are, still in the dogma of the medical community will say, because they've been programmed to think one way and not see the other. You can't have a physical world and not a spirit world. They're side by side. They're those side by side of you. Si puede construir en Valencia. So, to my sister that said that, you just ignore when I talk like this, well, then I guess you're ignoring the spirit, you're ignoring God, because God speaks through you, spirit speaks through you as they do you too. You're just not a fucking aware of it. Demons speak through you too. But they're desperate to be. Tell you, if I backlash at you because you talk down to me, or because you try to make me feel less than what I am, or that I was the fucking problem, you will get a strip ripped off you. And I will have no remorse for it. And I wouldn't care if you never spoke to me again. Because if you didn't speak to me again, it would just go to show. You can give the heat, but you can't fucking take it. You can make the insults mocking criticism, but you can't take it. Same as sometimes there's certain things, that piss me off. I'm not criticizing people for their religion. I'm not criticizing people for their beliefs. But what I am asking is, do you hear yourself? Because I've heard many say the exact same thing that I'm saying and then turn around and say, oh, I didn't say that. See, my sister told me the other day that psychosis is like the psychics. Well, you heard that from me. Because psychosis is psychic SOS. And I think, yeah, coming out, there's a lot of like anger and wanting, like, as if to say, you can know everything, you know? Because I know I don't know everything. But spirit does. God does. The universe does. Creator does. So if I bring something forward, how about you thank spirit for that? I'm the example. I'm good spirit, you know. I work with and from spirit. I don't work with people. I help people. We're all here to bring something forward. And that's why you're experiencing, because you're going through a trial. You're going through that last roll call when you graduate into your higher divinity, because you've accepted yourself. And some people, they use good accepting God. Well, if you accept yourself and you accept all those versions of yourself, and you're not afraid to be who you are, then that means that you've accepted God, you've accepted spirit, you've accepted creator. People have a problem with when you say God or spirit or creator or universe or what have you. That's why I say you accept yourself, because it's the part of the atheist. You don't believe in anything? Bullshit. Because you do believe in something. Do you believe in demons? Then you believe in God. But some people don't. You believe in God, and you will be a God. But God and the devil are the same person. Same. People say, no. So when you're experiencing scary things or you're witnessing scary things, just sit with yourself and ask yourself, what were you experiencing before that happened? Max husband today, he had the remote. He took his tray, he had dinner. He took his tray out, and then he was going on down here, and I leave the remote down here. Here, find the remote, and then he starts shooting himself down. It's that part of, why don't, before you go off the handle, why don't you step back for a minute and just sit in place and figure out where you were in the state of being the last time you had that remote? Because I went upstairs and I kind of looked, and I walked out to the kitchen, and I looked over at the counter, And the remote was on his tray. He said he didn't see it. It's because when you didn't find the remote at that split second, you took yourself off that frequency. You put yourself in a panic mode, which took you further away from what you were looking for, or your outcome or your goal. And my sister told me when she had her remote, she went to the bathroom, she set it on her counter. She went back to get it and it was gone. You know, I blamed things on like after that happened. I turned and I just started speaking the language and I told Loki and Odin to fuck off. Like, it's not funny. It gets a little thin after a while. They did, Odin and Loki did it to me with my wand. But when you are in a frame of mind and then you get out of that frame of mind, that's when things don't make sense to you. But it's about learning how to bring yourself back to that state before everything just went all fucking loopy. And it was like, what the fuck just happened there? You just happened there. You're moving energy. You're moving your space. You're moving through what is perceived to be time. Right? You're moving through space. Se lo que tomó de caer, se fue a mí. Eso lo que se cree. Que tu curu, como é muito emocionante. They're beginning of the week or something like that. My ex-husband told me basically that I didn't have everything. I don't. If it wasn't for me, you'd be lost. Because you'd never be able to find it. You'd never be able to do anything because you jump off the handle. You put yourself in chaos. That's when you start figuring you're going to hijack somebody else. And then when you try to hijack me and I get fucking pissed off, you turn around and blame me for it. Go to this. Went up to my accident and I told him, like, you know, it's like you're acting like a handler. Like if I get out, if I get out of hand, you want to come in and try to put me in my place. Lucky I'm fucking here. So I should never have come back to live with you. I'll tell you right now, if I hadn't came here, what I was seeing was him going completely and utterly insane, calling himself a fucking stupid idiot and everything like that. Every time he did something, he would shoot himself down. He was calling people maggots. and everything like that. And why? Because he wasn't setting boundaries. But I would get blamed for certain people being around. Because he too is going through a spiritual awakening. But he don't want to admit to it. He said he was going to go see, to learn how to do things with regards to, with different plants and things like that. It's that part of, dude, why don't you just stop fucking saying about doing it and just go fucking do it? I'm tired of hearing it. Whenever I start doing something, it's like something comes in and just fucking tries to stop me. And if he thinks that I don't know who he is as a higher being, and if he thinks that I don't know that he's fucking tapped in, and that I don't know that other certain people are tapped in, you don't think I can read you? But you'll fucking holler at me and mock me and say that I'm just a fucking crazy old bitch. And I'm not a crazy old bitch at all. I might be a bitch, rough, and I'm fucking protecting my young. So it's, if I come off assertive or aggressive or what have you, it's because a lot of the time I'm picking up on other people's energy. And I know people want to say things, talk to each other. See, I'm not going to stop telling people what I experience. And if people want to tell me that I'm psychotic or schizophrenia, well, hey, go read some more books instead of going inwards, because that's what you're supposed to be doing. And your therapists, your counselors, and what have you, they should know this. This is what you should be being taught, not taught of how to put a label on it. Don't forget that one. Don't forget that. Hey, don't forget that one. That one. You know, how many labels does people have right now? If you go look in your medical records, I guarantee every one of you, something written in there about you having this disorder or that disorder. And that's why you feel like you don't get treated. Or you get ignored or dismissed. Better go take your pill. Here, let me prescribe something for you. Go sit with yourself for a while and talk with yourself. Talk with your heart. Talk with your inner child. Talk with your traumas. Talk with your frustrations and your angers. Talk with those people who you feel caused you pain and suffering. And if you can't talk to them in public, talk to them in your heart, or sit on there and do a video of yourself as if you were talking to them, and then go back and watch it, because they're connected to you. So you can say it and then you go back and watch it, and you'll probably make yourself cry. You'll see a difference in people too, because you're making that difference within yourself and you're connected to them. se crea tudo, é ruim. É o que I've seen people, they come and, they might have the same face, but they're not even the same fucking size. I seen one person one day and, they were shorter and they were heavier set. And then like the next day, it was set, like I went outside and this person was coming, but it was like it was supposed to be that person, but it wasn't that like the person was thinner, their hair color was different, how they were dressed was sort of different. But you play along, right? You see it. And then a guy down the road, and he was a heavy set guy, and he showed up, and there was no fucking way that this guy was gonna wear spandex pants. But he was wearing like yoga pants. I knew the difference. And I'm looking like this fucked. And then another guy came in the driveway and they said that there was this guy, but it's like I'm looking and it's like, well, that don't look like the guy I know. And the next day, the guy was back and it was supposed to be the same person, but it wasn't the same person. And I was living in real life. I was experiencing it. But now I understand that I'm going from multiverse to multiverse. So people are slightly look different. Same, it's like it's the same person, but they have a difference to them. That's when your eye is open. You're seeing it, you're hearing it, you're speaking it, and you're experiencing it physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And if you don't like me, people don't like me using it spiritually, well, oh well. That's just a taboo they tell you not to use. And it's not another word of or another religion of another form of religion. But some will say it is. But it's that connection with everything, all gods that people perceive to be God. But I know that people didn't like me saying that and that the reason why you don't like me saying that and that irritates you is because you've been trained to see one thing one way and one thing one way only. But you can't have one without the others because it all is going hand in hand and it's all history repeating itself. So if you're experiencing that you want to rip someone's head off, you want to eat raw meat, I've already told you what you're experiencing. It's like that your heaven, earth, that heaven, heaven, earth, and then the inner earth, which some people say it's hell, but hell is hell up here because we put ourselves in hell. We can have ourselves in heaven, or we can have ourselves in hell. It's all in the way that you perceive something. I see a lot of different. It's a lot of more of the Christian community and the Muslim community, and they're trying to, like, each one is trying to transition them over, but instead of trying to transition over into one religion or the other, will not help each other to understand the religion as to who you believe in and what you believe and why you believe. And realizing that no one is right over the other. You're all right. And someone will say, well, no, you can't all be right. Well, why can't you? See, the ones that believe the ones that have one religion and have another religion, well, what is it that they experience for that to have that religion? It's what we're fighting over. It's them, their religion's right. It's them, their religion's right, and theirs is right. And this many people's going to heaven, or that many people's going to heaven. And you got to repent, or you're going to hell. I was watching something the other day. I actually saved it on the messenger. And they were talking about the books that were left out of the Bible, like the book of Mary Magdalene, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, the Gospel of Thomas, and then the book of Enoch. I have the book of Enoch coming, and I have the Gospel of Mary. I have the Gospel of Thomas. The other day, I was kind of disappointed. And the reason why I was disappointed is because I ordered 2 books and I thought they were going to be bigger than what they were. For the price I paid, holy shit, man. They were this size, and these are the books. The reason why is because I had ancestors. So I want to know about my ancestors. I want to know where it all started, like what happened. I want to know what the different beliefs that my ancestors had. Because it becomes that war within ourselves. Like people are taking one side or the other, and in all honesty, they don't even have a fucking clue what's going on or what's happened. They're just going with a narrative. It's like, I'm going to say, you have your religion, but step step out of the dogma, step out of the biblical text, because when you read it, you have certain verses. Oh, everything's all love and light, and great things are happening and everything. And then in the next verse, it's like, holy shit, man, hell just broke loose. It's because, like I said before, it's because all the books of the Bible, the way it's been put in and what have you, do you realize how many people have the same name? Some people say that, John the Baptist wasn't dead at the time of the Last Supper, but yes, he was. It was in the Bible. Can I recite what verse it was right now? No. What verse in the Bible says John the Baptist died before the Last Supper? It says right here, Matthew 14, John the Baptist was beheaded well before the Last Supper. It is recorded in Matthew 14. It was around there, yes, because I remember because I had it in my book. So, you look behind me in my kitchen. I've seen it, showed it before. I have the Last Supper. It was Mary Magdalene who was at the Last Supper, not John the Baptist. We get left things, okay? Do I think that it's a coincidence that I moved into a house that's very eccentric, much like John the Baptist was eccentric, and a man named John lived here, and he was a Baptist. He was a religious Baptist. He had lots of keys too, eclectic keys. And then I found a license plate, and it had California on it, and it had a year. See, it's that part where you. Oh, I opened up to Leviticus. Leviticus translated to, and he called in Latin the Hebrew word for a, don't, you can't pronounce that, for it is Payqiqra, sometimes spelled, and then through Leviticus, the Israelites who were freed from Egypt by Moses and God's command were camped at Mount Sinai. See, I find when you allow somebody else to interpret it for you, you're not getting the message. And I said to someone, like, I believe Jesus was illegitimate. We couldn't read or write. And why do I believe that? It's that part that has anybody. You're going by what, like they say, well, Jesus said this and Jesus said that. But where's the book of Jesus? Where's the book of Yeshua? Seriously. I'm allowed to ask that. Where is the book of Jesus? Where is the book of Yeshua? A lot of the time you're going to find it in the Gospel of Mary or the Gospel of Thomas. Now, in Mary says Mary, and then Thomas. In the book of Thomas, Jesus said he came here to chaos. So, hey, if Jesus came to make chaos, maybe Donald Trump is Jesus making chaos. Or is he posing? Or is, like I said, is Jesus and Yeshua two different people? Was Jesus the anti and Yeshua the Christ? No one had to question that. Seriously, it's in the book of Thomas, Gospel of Thomas, about Jesus here to create chaos, because I started reading it. Because when I was reading it, I was like, what the fudge? And then I was reading a verse where Jesus told Peter that he was going to turn Mary Magdalene into a man. It was like, seriously? About Mary Magdalene turned Jesus into a female. It's the same as in Terra Badass Buddha. When I'm looking in the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, it says about the badass Terra Buddha. And in there, it said that the Buddhists told her to come back as a man, and someone may listen to it. See, they don't tell you that women were actually pretty damn good leaders, and a lot of women led. Somebody say, like, women run on emotion. Yep. And men run on ego, so they want to fight first. Because they got to have their peckers in the air to say, oh, well, I'm bigger than you. And women, they might go on emotion, but, at least they feel. If you got a female leader and, they're doing a lot of what a man would do, ask yourself, is that female really a female? Or, maybe they're not really a female. And also maybe, they're in their masculine. Seriously. There's a lot of question. Like you look and, there's some politics, some of the people in the politics that I look at them and, I can tell that it's me. Is that why they're going? Are they some of them going because they know that that it's going to be female leaders, so they're going having a gender reassignment so that they can become a female leader? Because that's very deceiving. And anybody who, when the truth comes out about it, like there's one politician, his wife, you can see that you can see, like there are women who have a masculine look, but you can tell a lot of time when it's actually a woman, whether they have a masculine look or not. Because they still have specific features and specific behaviors. And people who become more enlightened in a way, they have that ability, they see it. And I do see where people say about certain people being in certain, like men, saying what women need. Seriously, please. Seriously. woman knows what a woman needs. A man knows what a man needs. So in order to know what each other needs, why the fuck aren't you working together? We get this stimulus. And people weaponize it. Men get women that feminist things, so they take it to the sublime, to the ridiculous. I watch what's going on when it comes to the part of like how like certain political things are trying to suppress the women again. Fuck you. It's like, it's that part, if we come up and we rip the fucking head right off of you, we'll rip you a whole new arsehole. Women bashing men and men bashing women. It's all a power trip. In fact, as far as Adam and Lilith, well, Adam and Lilith, they were the same person separated from each other. We had Adam and Eve. Eve was the one that was created from Adam, but Lilith was Adam's equal, and Adam didn't want to be equal because he figured that was God made me to be superior to you. God created man and woman together to create together, to work together, to rise together. One woman and separating different forms of religion. Because you have this team or you have that team, or you have the Olympians, and you have the Titans. The Olympians and Titans were fucking brothers and sisters. We're family. Always had one turn on the other, one turning on the other, whether it started with the mother trying to protect the children, or use children to protect her. But was it suppressing the woman? When you suppress a woman, and a woman gets to a point where she's had enough, okay, let's go gender neutral. When you do that to a feminine and they show emotion, you shoot them down and say they're too much, but they have histrionics, but you might want to look at yourself. I say this too masculine. You might want to look at yourself. They might be emotional, but you're narcissistic. Gender neutral. Because you got men in their masculine, you got women in their masculine, you got men in their feminine, you got women in their feminine. They say the man is the sun and the women is the moon. The feminine is the taboo. It's that part of, you're that afraid of you're that afraid of the feminine that you have to suppress it. Men want women, some men want women to be more like men. But then, when they show masculine traits, you just look like, excuse the term, but this is what the person said to me. No, that's just like feminine stepping up and saying, fuck you, jackass. Seriously. These are parts of, like, when you come into your spiritual awakening, oh yeah, it feels like a fucking war. Because you don't stand for the shit no more. How do you think that you stop a narcissist? Do you think it's that you roll over like a little puppy dog and say, oh, I'm not gonna, no. They never like seeing themselves. But they sure like acting like a victim. And you show, like, when you know that you're like you're going up against, like, you have the Father, the Son, and the grandson. Okay, you have Uranus, Kronos, and Zeus and Hades. There, when I said Hades, I felt that. And then you say Zeus. There were two Kronos. There was Kronos, the great grandfather, and Kronos, chaos. And they were all going through bastards. He did was he forgot about the great grandmother. Because a lot of truth never came. Because I go by what I've seen throughout my experiences. And then I look back at the past of my ancestors. And it's like, okay, that's what they were showing me. I know I have animal instincts. We all do. Think of like certain limbs that can climb a mountain, like climb a mountain like nothing, or certain ones can climb a tree like nothing. They can do things that animals do. Do it like nothing. Why do you think that is? It's because you're able to tap into that version of your spirit of yourself that you learned from different life venture, waking up to it once upon a time. She was Red Riding Hood. You get the story of Red Riding Hood, and you say that it's a wolf that gives it to the grandmother, but it was actually Red Riding Hood herself. But they're just not showing that in the story. Red Riding Hood, the cloak with the hood, was actually for protection. As long as she had that on, she wouldn't change. Why do you think they say about like that, putting red on your door? What do they say about the color of red? I had somebody one day, I was talking to them in FaceTime. Someone else, it was a two-way, three-way conversation. And they said about having something red up around your red door. I had painted it red before. I thought, because, in my little entryway, it looked freaking cool. Because my walls are yellow, my ceiling's yellow, and my trim around my windows and that's green, and then my door is red. And right now, my body's buzzing. I'm accused of shooting away, and I feel that coming here. Rita. And I was at a yard sale today, and I go by signs and synchronicities, and it was an indoor yard sale. And I went up to this one table, and this woman, she had a look, and then all of a sudden there was this key, pendant. That long, it looked like a skeleton. It looked like I said a ghost key, but before, and it looks like a skeleton key. And it was a chain, this pendant. I didn't get it because it didn't have the ring. But when I looked at it, it was like, okay, I'm being told something. It's a key. They're unlocked something. And when I got home, my sister had given me this mural type thing you could put on your door and your wall. And when I opened it and I got the instructions, and I opened up the instructions to read the instructions, this key fell out. And it has like it's a key, a razor blade, like the blade so I can cut the stuff, which I found very strange. And it's a yellow key. And just yesterday, I was watching a video, and the woman said that yellow is significant. So it's the yellow key. And right now, Spirit has me trying to figure it out. People say, oh, it's just a key. It's just that's nothing significant. That's what you think. But it's telling me something. And then yesterday, I was watching a movie with my ex-husband. He asked if I wanted to watch a movie with him. And this woman in the movie, she had a yellow car. And how often do you see yellow cars in movies? Not very often. Yatomaya, Pushimate, Sunyam. Right now, there's a lot coming in. It's like, wait a minute, no me quita por aquí. Es súper pushila que hace ruido que hay en la calle. You know, if you know this, you can make it and you should what you not noise and see I connect with the kate, the organs, I connect with Odin, Lucifer, Mary, I connect with the Cleopatra. It's it may not come out. I may not say things in English, but they are all speaking to you because they are your ancestors too. And sometimes they're telling us all, like, you guys just smarten the fuck up and grow up. I didn't learn these languages anywhere. It's like right in there. Secret of my right now it's like looking through the shadow. I just heard somebody say, "Oh, Norse," connects to the Vikings, Templars, Masons. If you go look and regards European settlers and what have you, they were Masons. They were the ones that the indigenous Anglo Masons. Certain ones don't like that. It's like, oh well, that's on you. If you're feeling that, and feel it yourself. Don't try putting it on someone else. Work through your own feelings. Dice la tote que ara que una cara que so sube sakai te mata no ne ya sana kasa pushing through the fear. Through fear of worrying about what other people are going to think because you're being authentic and you're allowing yourself to use your gifts. It's them who are it's those people who are afraid of your gifts and want to keep you from using them because it brings a lot to people. Shut up. Quiera que Dios nos hará y quiera It's like holding and holding. And I'm feeling it. The left side, right around here. It's moving up to here. So that's where chakras are. It's like bringing those chakras to alignment because it's a part and the other, and you're experiencing two things at the same time, or a few things at the same time. It's just kind of shifting. Right now, I'm feeling that up in my teeth. Usually, why? Sutai, with the Buddha, and Sonono Kanakani. Yeah, see right there, it's off. I'm feeling it off for some because it's like there's repelling. It's like your masculine and feminine sides are repelling each other. Okay, so it's like right there. It's like you're separating them to come back to even. My ex-husband said that he believes that there's something to what I'm doing in my experience, but he won't admit, like he won't come out and admit to it, and he won't use it himself, but he'll say that, there's something to it. It's like, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid that people will talk to you and treat you like they do me? Well, you're doing the same thing to me as others are, so, makes you a hypocrite. Right now, we're holding the heart. Oh, when I do this and I'm moving the energy, it feels so good when there's a release. It's like, woohoo! And I mean, that's so na inikiama na kakiyasaray. Right now, I have a hold. It's slightly, excuse me, there. Moving it. So what it becomes like is it feels like an air pocket, it feels like a burp. Holy shit, I'm hot. I can feel the sensation of just, yeah, just take it off. Take your time. I, half the time, I just feel like running around with nothing on because I hate clothes. Sitting right now, I'm getting right. It's like I'm moving so much energy that I'm getting tired. What should I say? And see, it's hard to do stuff on people who, like, when they don't believe because they don't relax themselves enough and allow themselves to experience it because they're too busy saying, well, you look silly like that. Like, yeah, you look foolish popping a pill every time you do it. See, it wasn't, and I'm not mocking people for this. I'm saying that this works better for me than taking a freaking pill. And I'm doing it myself. I'm moving my own, I'm working with my own energy. I'm working with myself. I'm healing myself through spirit. And it's spirit who's showing me how to do it. Teach. I'm connecting with different parts of my body. It's like, here, let's go to the brain. There, it's like right in the center. And like, just kind of twisting it. Wow, that felt good. It was like right up through. No, dice la mata kani kino ya shana. Isa yung mukaya naka isara kusho de yasara sakai sikun kai na bakagara. We say, oh, you know, I think it's on Prime. The movie Wicked. It's called The Wicked Witch because they trick her. They had her read out the grimoire and turn monkeys into having wings. And it was about control. It was just balance. Lete kumai na niya no kana kira isara yato shorai emi mukame kiara yasara purute A lot of heart chakra work right now. Still have some breathing. You know, if people just sat and just like kind of sat with your body and allowed yourself to experience your own body, what you're feeling, that's when you actually tap into yourself. You tap into your aura, you tap into your spirit, you tap into your all your nerve endings, your waters, your cells. Sick of it. You start to feel a release yourself. It's like when you dance. Some of us just dance really hard. And sometimes it's just like a flow. People will say, well, you just move, you're just waving your hands and you actually feeling my own energy within my core. Ela foi mãe, esse coraia que isso daqui, mãe. And no, I'm not doing that like what they do to tell people to fuck off. If I'm going to tell you to fuck off, I'll just say fuck off. Or sometimes it comes out in the languages, and you know it's a spirit. So you know if you experience it, well, you know that's on you, not me. You're experiencing it because you're connected with those spirits. And if you're experiencing anything while I'm doing this within your body, that's because I'm connected to you. And if I'm connected to you, it's not about me asking or having permission from you. You're actually giving me permission by me connecting with you. It's because your energy is open. I'm just helping you move it. And I want you to go and help to protect it from others coming in and siphoning you. I'm not trying to siphon your energy or take your energy. I'm trying to help you heal it. So there's a lot in the heart chakra for people. I just heard you charge for this. Well, am I charging? I know that there's. This is not my. I'm doing this right now. I'm not here to do the work for you. I'm here to show you how it's done. So you can do it for yourself. It's when you get the meditation. They're teaching you how to do it yourself. You know, so it can be safe, and included. Someone's got a really, really heavy heart. Right now, smells are coming in, and it's like It's a cross between something rotten and rotten and stinky feet or something like that. It's really fucking nasty. It's like there's something. It smells like a rotten rodent. Ugh, that's what it smelled like. It's almost like somebody's been looking for something in their wall. I just heard living room wall. Wow, I almost feel like going and get my pajamas on right now because I want to get my clothes off. But yeah, if somebody's looking for a rodent, I got another in the living room wall. So it's something and it's something wrong. So, yeah, it's like basement down. It's like decay. Here's why. Yeah, it just felt like something like it was being held right under my nose. And I'm going to leave it there for the night. I do want to figure out how to get Zoom up and going. So if people want to do a Zoom with me, send me your email. And when I do it, just, take like yeah, and then we'll see what we can do. Because I know that there's people that want to be invited in here and what have you, but I want to see you. That way I know I see who I'm talking to. So That being said, I'm sending you all much love, light, many blessings, most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone watching and to receive yourself. I want you all to be big, bold, brave, most importantly, be yourself, be your authentic self, be true to yourself and others, be kind to yourself and others, and know that you are in your strength and you comprehend the times. Start moving. Start moving your hands and sitting with yourself and just know that you're your best therapist. If you got to do a video, go in and do a video of yourself and then go back. Okay? Love you all. Que la toco de 10 a 20.